Hello YouTuber, welcome in this day, and yeah, instead of a deck tech video, we have something different today that I really didn't want to discuss because I was hoping that it would not exist, but it exists, so we're going to discuss it. So, Alchemy is coming to Arena. This is a new alternative to Standard, and in the words of Wizards of the Coast, Alchemy is our new MTGA play mode based on the standard format that incorporates new to digital magic alongside rebalanced standard cards to create a fast, ever-evolving experience for our players. Okay, I just flat out, I do not have a problem with introducing new formats. I don't have to like the formats, I don't have to play the formats, I have my formats that I like, and that's fine, right? Okay. So the three new main points here are the following. An ever-evolving play mode. That's just basically a new play mode. Again, I don't have a problem with that. New to digital cards. I am not a fan of the digital-only cards. I like to play the cards on paper as well, in a paper cube. I like to play them on other programs as well, as like Cockatrice, to draft my cubes online with my friends there, which is not possible with these new cards because the mechanics are just not really doable there. But I guess it's fine, right? We can talk about that. Here is the real issue I have with this. This is the real issue. Rebalancing magic cards. Alchemy features rebalanced versions of existing standard cards to shake up the meta for digital play. Players can expect these regular changes to the format to create a dynamic play experience between standard scissor releases. So that is the format, right? It's standard, but with balance changes and digital only cards. Okay, that's kind of fine. What does that mean? Here we have some examples. Aaron's Epiphany, for example, Foretell costs 7 mana instead of 6 now, but you get the 2 1/1s instead of always getting the 1/1s. So that's just a straight nerf. But cards don't necessarily need to be nerfed, they can be rebalanced, like Asika's Chariot. It only gets 1 token now, but only has Crew 2, right? Or for in the example of Cosmos Elixir, mostly get buffed, like Demilich also gets 1 toughness. Not that this would save the card, right? But like there's rebalancing, right? Buffs, nerfs, something in between. Okay, this in itself, that is the premise of the format. I also don't have a problem with that. Here comes the kicker. These rebalanced cards will not only be rebalanced for Alchemy, those rebalanced cards will also make their way into Historic and replace their respective cards there. So they're changing Historic from this every card on Arena format to in basically every balanced card on Arena format. And this basically means is if I make a tier list, right? And I am, or like a crafting guide, and I am making a crafting guide currently. I'm just doing the graphics right now, and that's taking me way too long for some reason. But I'm working on that. I have the guide ready, and like I want to make this guide for you guys, right? And then I'm telling you, okay, like craft Faceless Haven, for example, right? But now it's getting nerfed to a 3/3 from a 4/3, and we cannot play these unnerfed cards in Historic Brawl or Historic anymore. We can only play with the nerfed version in Historic Brawl, and that is the crux. Other formats that are not Alchemy get affected by balance changes that are only relevant for Alchemy. So they're making changes to certain cards. For example, Luminec Aspirant, which is a totally fine aggro card in Historic Brawl. It's a strong card, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing overpowered or oppressive, and they're nerfing it based on the statistics for Alchemy, but we still get affected by it. And best thing is, we do not get any refunded wildcards, because the reasoning is that we can still play them in actual Standard, these cards here, the unnerfed versions. And I think that is just not reasonable at all. Like, at all. I think that is just an awful idea. So what would I like to see happen here? Just allow us to play the actual unnerfed cards in Historic and Historic Brawl. It's simply as that. Digital only cards, sure, I guess, kind of weird. I I don't like them. I'd rather have them not in the format, but like some people really like them, and sure, good for them. Okay, they can stay. But I just want to play these cards in their like supposed actual version, because historic is the like legacy of Arena, and or like at least that's what I want. It's stability. I want a deck to be able to work like 5 years down the road, even if that deck is not a tier 1 deck anymore, even if it's not a tier 2 deck anymore, even if it is completely full of the meta and all the cards are not relevant. All the cards stay legal, and the deck itself stays intact, and that's what I like about it. And that's exactly what Wizards of the Coast doesn't like about it. And that's the idea of it, right? Like, they don't want Historic Brawl, for example, to exist, because yes, it is a very high entry cost. You need a lot of wildcards, but you only need them once, and then you have all the staples, and you can continue making decks, and they don't go away. And this is why they want to implement this rotating system, I imagine, and it's just... I'm really not a fan of it. Like, these balance changes itself are probably fine for standard, right? Like, I don't have a issue with this. But another problem that comes from this is, if I say, okay, I wanna... like, if I have a conversation with you guys and I'm talking about Iron's Epiphany, does anyone know which version of Iron's Epiphany I'm talking about? Like, actual card names don't have a meaning behind them anymore, if that goes through, because nobody knows, okay, is he talking about nerfed? Okay, oh, it's this, like, nobody knows. And, yeah, I think this is an awful idea, and I'd rather this not go through. Again, I don't question the actual balance changes on these cards. They're like most of these cards, for example, like Omnath or like Faces Haven, that would have been probably fine if they just printed them originally like this. But once you print something, yes, there are erratas that happening, and those happen for a reason as well with when actual mechanics around the game change, right? But man, this is just not for me. So what can we do about it? So there is currently a petition for on the official forums to sign. You can just vote for it, and then Wizards will see it and know, okay, people really don't like it, and like the main problem people have with it is just as me. Why does it have to affect Historic, right? Why? It does not make any sense. So I put that down in the description. I will also link these 2 articles in the description for you guys. And I think I have said everything I wanted to say about this. Please just leave Historic and Historic Brawl alone, Wizards of the Coast. That's all I'm asking for you. And I'm not even starting to begin talking about how you get these new cards, because like you can't really draft them as far as I've seen. You have to purchase them from boosters, and purchasing from boosters is actually just like inefficient. Like I'm a drafter, so and it doesn't seem to draft. But I think duplicate protection will work with Alchemy boosters. Modified version of duplicate protection. It's weird, man. I just don't want these changes to affect Historic Brawl. That's all I really want from this. Yeah, and I will see you tomorrow. No deck tech today. I'm too upset about this. I don't even know if if this still stands, like if this stays. I don't even know if I have the motivation anymore, because it just feels awful for me as somebody who has almost all the cards. Like, I'm not a person that is too dependent to get new cards. I have like 30 rare wildcards stocked up. I almost every rare, like a single copy of everything in the game. I'm missing like 2-3 pages, and that's it. But I think this is even worse for the average person that just doesn't have as many cards as I, and it's just awful. Anyways, see you tomorrow.